What's up, everybody? It is Saturday, June 20th, 2026, and today we're going to be diving into the upcoming weather pattern, and it's going to be crazy. We've got extreme heat and so much more, so make sure to check out the entire video because there's tons of stuff that we got to cover. So let's just get into it. No more chit-chat. All right, starting off with our precipitation type, everybody. We've got some rain pretty much all of Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas. We're going to be seeing some rain pretty widespread here throughout the southeastern mid-Atlantic United States. We're also going to be seeing some rain here. I see a pattern within the northern Rockies. Maybe some rain to water the plants a little bit. Further north into the Rockies of Canada, so Alberta and British Columbia. More so on the Alberta side of things, we've got maybe some snow in the higher elevations. I mean, we're talking it's almost July. I mean, it's June 20th, so you got to be pretty high up for it to snow. That's just kind of crazy for me because I don't live in that high elevation area. I'm sure a lot of you don't either, but anywhere else though, it's kind of rain in British Columbia and also rain in Florida. It's going to rain a lot in Florida. Also, the Great Lakes regions are also going to get some rain. Like I was saying earlier, extra rain, I would say mainly for Canada and the British Columbia and Alberta regions of Canada are going to get the most rain. Quebec also might get some, but I would say Alberta's probably going to get more rain than anywhere, really, for right now. Scrolling on, let's go to tomorrow at 11 a.m., so about the time that we're going to be waking up. So we've got kind of a system here. You can see this kind of low pressure system here. Low forming kind of in the Denver area. That's not a surprise. That happens like every day almost during thunderstorm season, which we're going to be checking out later, so make sure to stick around. This low pressure system is kind of deep, moving towards the Great Lake regions and maybe into Canada or the northeastern U.S. This could bring some showery systems and potentially some sleet. Rain up here, like I said, rain south in Florida area. That's no big surprise. We've got Florida, the mid-Atlantic. Not a big shocker. That happens pretty often. The 22nd at 2 p.m., we also have the rain is kind of starting to clear out here in the mid-Atlantic area and moving maybe further northeast, kind of. The system's kind of moving a nor'easter. If it was the wintertime, we'd call it a nor'easter. But since it's the summertime, summer's technically tomorrow, the first day of summer. But summertime, we're going to call it. It is just rain. So same thing can be said for just east of the northern Rockies. So eastern Montana, eastern Wyoming, eastern Colorado, parts of North and South Dakota, and Nebraska. Moving on, let's jump ahead a little bit. Let's go 25th, 5 p.m. Lots of low pressure systems, so this may get pretty stormy here. We'll look at this later. And west of the Rockies, some rain east of the Rockies, not a huge shocker. I mean, gotta water the plants, right? On the 26th at 11 p.m., so this is pretty late at night, it's going to start raining here in the Pacific Northwest, and that's just about it for that. Looking at our 2-meter temperature in Fahrenheit, this is June 20th at 5 a.m. Let's make that 2 p.m., roughly the time that I'm filming this video right now. Come to think of it, let's just skip ahead to 3 p.m. because that's kind of what it is. Right now, on June 20th, the time that you'll be seeing this video, it is currently 100 to 110 degrees in the desert of Southwest. Very hot. And this is even happening in Colorado, which is not necessarily the desert of Southwest, but it does happen. So it's also going to get hot in eastern Washington also. That's a kind of a hot spot far north. Also, east of the Rockies also. Texas. If you guys live in the states that I'm about to mention, Southern California, Southern Nevada, Las Vegas, just all of Arizona, pretty much all of Utah, eastern Colorado, all of New Mexico and western Texas, you need to have all the AC running, and please take extra precautions because this is hot weather. This is 100, 110 degrees. Please avoid strenuous activities outside unless you're making it quick, because like if there was ever a day to like just hunker down in the AC cooled room, it would be today. Like it's gonna be really hot down there, so that could lead to some thunderstorms maybe tonight. We'll watch for that, and also tomorrow could potentially bring some thunderstorms in the afternoon, but since it's kind of not in the plains, it's more west of the Rockies. I'm more skeptical about it, but you might see a strike or two, so we'll look at it. Looking tonight, it's going to cool down maybe to the 70s, 80s at the coolest. June 21st, first day of summer. We're starting off with a little bit of a banger. This is at 2 p.m. We can easily see 100, 110, maybe 115 degrees here. This is going to be more so hotter on the hot side for Texas. So if you live in Texas and you wanted hot weather yesterday, well, your wish is true, because it's coming. It's a banger, first day of summer. Yeah. All right, as we go to the 22nd at 10 p.m., it's going to start cooling down. Let's go to 5 a.m., 2 p.m. 2 p.m. right now, it's still going to be, like, really hot. Like, it's going to be in the hundreds for sure during the day in the desert of Southwest. So just make sure that AC is running nice and hot. And even on the day like today, on June 23rd at around 3 p.m., it's going to heat up as far north as into Washington. And the just east of the Olympic Peninsula, it's going to maybe approach 90 degrees, which is pretty hot for that far north. As we go on to the 24th, let's see, 8 p.m., it's going to start cooling down. And then on June 25th, 2 p.m., it's going to be maybe cooler up north, but very hot, especially on the California-Arizona border here. 115, 110 degrees Fahrenheit. That's really hot. So just make sure the AC is running, like I said. Let's skip ahead a little bit. On June 29th at 11 a.m., it's going to be very hot in Texas and also very hot in Florida, so watch out for that. July 2nd at 11 a.m., it's going to be maybe even 110 degrees in Colorado. That's crazy, folks. Let's go to the 4th of July, baby. 4th of July, everybody. Let's go. It's going to be hot. I mean, this is at 5 p.m., and it's going to be, like, so hot. I'm 100, almost 120 down here. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, this is at 5 p.m. Let's go to 11. This is around the time that the fireworks might start. So it's going to be cooler then, but that's still just boiling. Even in California, that's still like 110 degrees. So that's pretty crazy. Looking at our 2-meter temperature anomaly in Fahrenheit, today we are seeing some, I mean, if it was the winter time, then these greens would mean like snow and stuff, but no, that just means like 60s, okay? Not 30s, not 20s, not negatives. No, we're not seeing any of that. This stuff right here means like 80s or something. So we're going to see 80s, we're going to see 60s, maybe lower 40s, maybe. I mean, at the most. I mean, it's going to really start heating up. I mean, if it was winter, I would be like, that's an Arctic blast, it's going to cool down. No, what this is going to mean is if we were to go back to our temperature, on this exact day in temperature, that means the 70s and the 50s. Pretty crazy. As we scroll on here, we can see that Arctic blast, quote unquote, goes away. That's just about it for our temperature anomaly. Let's go into our precipitation. We talked about this earlier, and we're going to see. So this is our cumulative precip. So if we go to the end of our run on July 5th, in the Pacific Northwest, there is maybe up to 4 inches at the most. Up north is really where it's going to hit hard, maybe even up to 6 inches. Same thing could be said, maybe 10 up to a foot of rain here for upper Midwest areas. Down south into southern Texas, into the southern Mexico, and also I would imagine south into Panama. I can't see that. I can try to do that later, maybe. Lightning flash density. Instantaneous flash. This is actually starting at 5 a.m., so let's just jump ahead to the afternoon where it is right now. This is 3 p.m., so it goes from 1 lightning strike throughout the day to 2,000 lightning strikes throughout the day. Some activity could definitely be seen throughout most of Mexico, just on the Rockies, west of the Rockies. That's no big shocker to see that in Colorado. I mean, if you live in Colorado, like and subscribe. Thank you very much. But if you live in Colorado, you probably know that thunderstorms roll in literally every day. So that's no big shocker. Texas also some stuff. I can see some activity just on the border of Florida and Georgia. I would say 250 strikes, 400 strikes, maybe if you're lucky throughout the day. So might see some flashes. Keep your eyes on the sky. Scrolling on to the 21st to the afternoon, 3 p.m., maybe slightly less. I see some whites there, so that might be extreme thunderstorm activity, up to 2,000 strikes throughout the day. So if we got that, that'd be really cool. That would be pretty crazy if we got that. I would just say every afternoon up to 2,000 strikes is definitely plausible. Again, it just kind of depends on the day. Now we are going to look at the 2-day strike count. So this is over the course of 2 days. Definitely some spots of up to 2,000 strikes. 400 strikes, I would say, is the most common, and obviously many others. Looking at our HRRR model, we are looking at our helicity 3,000 meters above the ground. I don't know entirely what that is in feet, but you can look it up, or I can look it up later in the video. So helicity is this thing where it's kind of tornadic related. So helicity is rotation above the ground. So 3,000 meters above the ground. This is not sea level, above the ground level. So 3,000 meters above the ground level is the how much rotation there is. So this is essentially going to have a lot of say if there's going to be a tornado. So make sure to stick around till this. I hope you stuck around because this is important. I would say, let's go to 3 p.m. I would say is where it's going to get most crazy. It's going to get really crazy here. Let me find that hot spot. I would say the hot spot is maybe around 12 a.m. actually tonight. In Nebraska, just east of Colorado, northern Texas, and that tiny sliver of Oklahoma. I would definitely say that that's up to a 1,000 to a 1,200. That's dangerous. That's definitely dangerous. So please take my say here. I'm a weather professional and I know my stuff. This is the equivalent of a tornado warning. So if you live in this area with the pink, take shelter. This is on June 21st, so this is tomorrow, but take shelter and stay prepared because this has the potential to be something very dangerous, and you'll see why later in the video. As we scroll on, this is the HRRR, so this is the extremely updated model. Barely goes out past a day, so that's why I'm saying this. Looking at our visibility in miles. Visibility in miles right now, I am seeing right now at 3 p.m. not much visibility issues unless you're in Ontario, Canada, right there. There might be some really bad fog up down to 0.1 miles. Can you imagine driving and not being able to see 25 feet in front of you? That's crazy. I mean, that is kind of ridiculous. That would be some tough conditions. I would say mainly not much visibility issues unless you're in like the Hudson Bay area. The West Coast might get invaded. Great Lakes region tends to be that way also, kind of. I also see some stuff happening on the East Coast, but I would say if you live on the West Coast, that's where you would want to watch out more. And you're going to want to pay attention to this because we are looking at our Storm Prediction Center. Here, this is the weather. So this is essentially all these warnings. So these pinks and these, there's like all of these we'll discuss, but these oranges over here and down here are all heat advisories. So for extreme heat and stuff. These reds right into there are flash flood warnings. These yellows, I believe I have down here, the yellows are tornado watches. The reds are tornado warnings. And if you zoom in, do you see that little speck of red right there at the top part of my cursor? That's a tornado warning. And you know how I said earlier that there was going to be a tornado warning? Well, this is the latest run, and it shows tornado watches and tornado warnings. So please take it seriously. We also have flood watches and flood warnings. Those are the greens. These pinks right here, these kind of yellowish things, are heat advisories and extreme heat warnings. The dark reds down here are extreme heat warnings. We've got severe thunderstorm warnings and stuff. Most of this is severe weather in here. So that's just about all the weather talk I've got for you today. Make sure to like and subscribe so we can hit our goal of 45 subscribers. It would mean the world to me. So please subscribe and like this video and share it with friends and family. And I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.